sometimes it's fun to figure out if you are on the wealthy side or maybe you're not. Maybe it's inspirational for you, or maybe you say, hey, those poor rich people. But I want to go through with you a little bit of, how much you need to make to be wealthy in different states. Everybody's a bit different depending on where you are. And I will say, though, I'm going to go ahead and say this because the idea is I've worked with so many people on financial planning and working into retirement years. And it truly isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you save to get to where you want to be. And so living within your means is really a big one. And just to kind of start with that, I'll show you the median household income. So median household income, DC 90,842. This drives all the way down. If you look here and watch the screen as I scroll through, down to Mississippi is actually your last. 46,511 is the median household income. So that's a big one, just to know that and understand that, maybe you're right there at the median, maybe you're not, to help compare a little bit. They always say that, you shouldn't compare, but I think that if you use it for motivation, there's some opportunity there. Now, I want to go into a bit further of, the actual wealthy and comparing to, hey, maybe you're making more than that. How much are you in the top 20%? Are you in the top 5% in each state? Now, when it comes to the median household, that was worldpopulationreview.com for all you fact checkers that might want to comment, well, where did you find that? I can't find that. And then I'm going to go to gobankingrates.com to find out as far as the top 20% and the top 5%. Now, with this, though, you are going to want to figure out what your adjustable gross income is. Now, if you don't know how to calculate that, what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, let's say that you make $100,000 a year, but you contribute $20,000 to your pre-tax 401k. That's a deduction that comes off of your income. So now your adjusted gross income is $80,000. Now, standard tax deductions aren't counted, so you're not going to count those in your adjustable gross income. But just make sure you freshen up on that if you're wanting to truly compare yourself here and take a look at this. But let's go ahead and start at Mississippi, because that's what we started with the median household income. This is actually the best place if you want to be wealthy, and one of the wealthiest. If you have a decent income, that's where you're going to be. The average adjusted gross income of the top 20%, $175,581. And then to be in the top 5 there, $308,523. So now let's kind of scroll down through here and take a look at some different ones. I'm going to stop down here at a good old place where we're at, Florida. So if you're looking at Florida, 230,107, and the top 5 is 431,870. Now that's quite interesting, because if you actually look at Georgia, in Georgia, you come down here to Georgia, your average to be in the top 20 is 234. So it's more, and you have to have a higher adjusted gross income in Georgia to be in the top 20, but you actually have a lower adjusted gross income to be in the top 5, 422 there. So little difference there, depends on where you are. Maybe there's more wealthy people in Florida, but the middle class is a little different there, or the upper middle class, as you could say. And then if you come down to top 10, let's take a look here. So we've got New Hampshire, New York, Washington, Virginia, Connecticut, California. Everybody always talks about California, very expensive place. What does that look like? 309,857 is the average adjusted gross income to be in the top 20%. Minimum you need to be in the top 5 is $555,000 or $555,007. New Jersey is actually the number 1 state, though. So if you're looking at this, $319,140 to be in the top 20 adjusted gross income. Now remember, that's adjusted gross. If a family is, making, let's say, $360,000 a year, contributing $20,000 to each of their, 401ks pre-tax, that brings them down to close to 319. So you have to make that much money there. 562,886 to be in the top 5. So where do you match up? Where do you compare? As I say, don't really stress this too much. If you're way off and you're like, oh, those poor rich people. Instead, just focus on what you're doing. Use this as motivation to say, maybe you're close and you need to make sure that you're saving enough. What I found is the more you make, the more you spend. And so make sure you're living within your means, because, money does help to get you to where you need to be, but it truly doesn't buy happiness. So there's my words of wisdom for the day. If you haven't checked us out, jazzwealth.com. We'd be happy to help you develop a financial plan and see what we can do to make sure that you're retiring comfortably.